Hi Chantal, can you tell us how you came to be on a BTBAB trip?
Yeah, in 2015, Femi and Maria came over to Gibraltar, and they were part of the BTBAB mission organization. They did a bit of discipleship with me, and part of that discipleship was an offer to go on a trip to Ethiopia. That didn't work out, but I continued praying about it, and after that I felt led to go to Peru. So I signed up and I got accepted onto the Peru team.
Great, and what was the process like for you?
It was challenging, it was very challenging. Having Femi and Maria there to support me was huge. They were a lifeline for me in my life at that time. But it was very exciting. I didn't know what to expect. The training weekends were all new. I had no idea what to expect at all, and it was very overwhelming but incredible at the same time.
And how did you find the training weekends?
They were really good, really intense. I didn't have a clue what to expect. It was very, very good, very thorough to go through your identity and find out more about who you are and things that God has put in you. And that was really good.
And for you, tell us about your family and what that meant for you.
Well, being a wife and a mum to Joshua, who is now 5 years old, it had its challenges, that's for sure. A lot of people, a lot of friends and people in church weren't very supportive of it. They didn't really understand the concept of a mission trip and what it is and stuff. So there were a lot of difficulties, but generally I had a good support team and the Lord provided every step of the way.
What was your role in when you were in Peru?
When I was in Peru, I was media person for the team, and my ministry was children's ministry. So when I was there, I was in charge of taking photos and videos and just making sure that everything was documented. And my ministry area with the kids, we just had loads of fun and games and a story about God's love and how much He loves them. And we had an epic water balloon fight where Andy, another team member, and I were the targets and each kid got given a water balloon or two each and just threw it at us. So that was good fun, and just seeing, you know, the reaction on kids' faces. One of the stories that I did was a box where I did a talk about how much God loves people, and if they want to know who God loves most in the world, they could come up and see this box, and it was a secret. A friend of mine had given me this idea. So when they started lining up, they all came up in a single file, and as I opened the box, there was a mirror stuck to the bottom of the box, and just their faces as they saw it was absolutely priceless. I mean, some were just in shock, some had tears straight away. It was incredible to see that.
What was it like working in the team?
It was really good. I loved everyone on the team, and I got along with everyone on the team. It was wonderful for me. I felt like I came alive in Peru.
What challenges did you face?
We had a lot of challenges on the way there. We didn't realize that, because we knew we were going down to the bottom of the jungle, but we didn't realize that we had to climb to the top of the mountain. A very short period of time. We climbed 4,500 meters before we had to go down. So I got very sick with altitude and was kind of passing in and out of consciousness, and that was the same on the way back as well. Whilst we were there, our team leader also fell sick, so sometimes there was just 3 of us, and it was long days, it was hard work, but it was incredible. It was worth every moment of it.
So what was the best bit out of the trip for you?
We had a situation where we were doing some street evangelism in one of the neighbouring villages, and there was a boy called Danny there, and we were asked to pray for him, and he was in a wheelchair. And after we prayed for him, he started walking, and that was absolutely incredible to see. That was one of the highlights, and the kids ministry. it was just incredible for me. The water balloon fight, fun.
Back home, what was your experience of returning?
I had a really hard time coming back. I was very emotional. I found it very hard to readjust back to normal life, school runs, cook dinners, chores around the house, errands, stuff. I found it really, really hard, and I just wanted to move back out on mission. I also learned through that to be content wherever God had put me. So I knew that if there was a time for me to go back out on the field, He'll send me back out.
What did God do in your life during that time?
I didn't realize this until I came back. But a lot of what I did in Peru was sharing my testimony, different parts of it, and sometimes the whole thing. And there was a lot of sharing my testimony, a lot of talking about it. And I feel like God really, I feel like the enemy had stolen my voice at a really young age. And going to Peru, God gave me my voice back. And I didn't realize that until afterwards. Because when I got back, suddenly from this quiet, very kind of quiet little girl to I had an opinion. I actually said no to things. People didn't take very well to that, but that's okay. I was allowed to speak my mind, and that was good. I had that freedom.
What's next then for you?
So we actually made a pretty huge decision as a family, and we recently moved to the UK. We're actually here with Femi and Maria, who run BTBAB organization, and we're here with discipleship. And my husband and I are actually getting ready to go on a trip to India together as a couple. So we'll see what God does in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what He does in and through us.
That's great. Thank you for sharing with us.